Hey ladies, welcome back to another episode on the Weight Loss for Women 40 Plus podcast. Now today we are talking about consistency and motivation. Probably one of the two biggest issues that I see people have. Because if you were motivated regularly and you were consistent with the food, the exercise and the sleep, do you think you'd see some pretty good results? Well, the answer is a hell freaking yes. Absolutely, you'd see some results. So let's talk about that. Anybody can be consistent for a couple of days. Like, let me ask you, have you ever done a diet for a couple of days? You felt like you're going pretty good, you did a couple of days, and then something happened and you derailed. Everybody's been in that situation. Maybe you're really good Monday to Friday because you have a clear structure. You go to work, you have a morning routine, you come home, you have an afternoon routine, you go to bed, and you do it all again tomorrow. And you do that Monday to Friday really well. I find a lot of people like that before they come clients with us. They're like the Monday to Friday, killing it, and then it's the weekend where they blow out. So we call them the weekend warriors. They're blowing out on the weekends, having an awful time, and all the progress gets derailed. And then they hit the next week, and they're demotivated because they haven't had the success that they were looking for. It is common. So sticking to anything long term, it is difficult. Like I will sympathize with that. Because if I asked you, could you do a keto diet for 3 days? You'd probably say yes. Could you do a keto diet for 3 weeks? You might even still say yes, but it's getting a little bit harder. What about 3 months? Ooh, now we're testing the barriers. What about 12 months? Probably a very low percentage of people. What about 12 years? No one. So it's not just the consistency that is the hard thing. It's also picking the thing that you're going to be consistent at. So this is what we work on with our clients. We find a game plan. We get the food, the exercise, and their lifestyle in alignment. Because if the exercise matched your schedule, if the food was food that you liked, and again, it matched the time available that you have per week, do you think you'd be consistent at that? Well, the answer is probably yes. So it's not always your consistency is the problem. It's the consistency with the plan that you have in place. That is the problem for most people. And this is why having a coach is one of the most important things. If you're doing this without support and accountability, you might not even know the things that are causing you to fall off track. You might not know that the plan you have in place right now is actually really unsustainable in the long term. But you are persistent. You keep going back to it. Even though you fall off track, you keep going back. Now, I'm not Einstein, but that's kind of like the definition of insanity. Keep doing the same thing, keep getting the same result, expecting a different result. So this is why I talk to a lot of people before they join our program about accountability. Because accountability, you don't need it on the good days. Like, if I'm going to be honest, you don't need coaching on the good days. When you're going well, it's fine. It's when you have the bad days or the string of bad days that turn into a week or turn into a month of inaction, that is when people need consistency. That is when people need the accountability of a coach. I promise you then, the good days are bloody easy. You're probably good at least 3-4 days a week. But if you think about it like this, if you're only good 4 days a week, that means you're only good, how many is there? There are 7, 14, 20, 28, 35. Okay, so if you're good only 4 days a week, in a year, that means you're going to have 150 bad days. So if you're good 4 days a week, bad 3 days a week, in a year, you're going to have 150 bad days. Remember, there are 52 weeks in a year. And if you have 3 bad days, that's actually 156 bad days. Do you think you'd be successful if you had 156 off-track days per year, off the diet, off the plan, not moving the needle forward in the right direction? Probably not. And that's the problem. People get so upset that they had 3 or 4 good days and they didn't get results. I'm like, yeah, because you had 200 good days, let's say 210 good days in a year, but then you had 154 bad days. So 360, yeah, that's literally the maths, 364 days in a year. So it's really difficult to get the result if most of the year, like 40% of the year, you're off track. So coaching is kind of like, you ever played 10-pin bowling? When you don't have the bumpers up, how likely is it that you're going to throw a gutter ball? It's probably pretty likely. When I play 10-pin bowling, I throw so many gutter balls. Bang, straight in. Sometimes I hit the pins, rarely I hit a strike. More often than not, I'm going to throw it off to the side and into the gutter. Doing weight loss without a coach is like playing 10-pin bowling without the gutter stops, without the protectors there. Coaching is the stops. It's the bumpers. You're going to smack into the bumpers all the way down towards the pin. But 9 times out of 10, you're going to hit a pin. It's going to be very, very rare that you don't hit a pin if you got the bumpers up. You're going to strike way more often. You're going to hit way more pins compared to if you didn't have the bumpers up and you're throwing gutter balls. It's kind of like coaching. Coaching helps with the consistency. Yes, you're going to smack into the sides. You're going to be using that coach vigorously throughout the whole process, but you're going to be way more consistent with them compared to if you didn't have them. No different to those bumpers when you're playing 10-pin bowling. And if people are looking for the magic program, the magic nutrition plan, the magic exercise program, it just doesn't exist. There's like 100 ways that you can lose weight, but there aren't many of them that aren't restrictive. And this is what we pride ourselves on, is creating a program where you can actually get to the goal that you want with the being least amount of restriction, the most amount of consistency, and a high level of accountability. It is so hard to get the result without the coach. Here's how I know. I've spoken to literally between 3,000 to 4,000 ladies. It might even be 5,000 ladies in the last 5 years, one-on-one, like me and my team, sitting down, having a phone call or doing a Zoom call with people and asking them about their habits, asking them how long it's been since they've been at their goal weight, asking them how long they've been stuck on a weight plateau. 100% of those calls have been stuck for greater than 3 months. No one's jumping on a call with me if their plan hasn't worked for 2 weeks. They're jumping on a call with me if their plan hasn't worked for months and years and they're really stuck. And I say the same thing to what I'm telling you right now. It is very hard to get the result if you haven't had it for years, because now your body has changed. Now you are older. Metabolism has probably decreased. The body is probably a bit more worn down. The hormones are probably in a different phase of the lifetime compared to when you're in your 20s. Now you've got those extra challenges, and now you're trying to apply an old game plan to be successful. It just doesn't work like that. So if your track record is start, stop, regain weight, is it possibly time to change? Is it time to change the tactics? Is it time to change how you're doing it? Maybe it's even time to allocate some resources into a coach. Because, let's say for argument's sake, random number, let's say you paid $10,000 to someone to lose the weight, the 5, 10, 15, 20, 50, 60 kilograms. Let's say you paid someone $10,000 to lose the weight. You're going to hate it at the start. You're like, oh my God, that's an absorbent amount of money. You're going to hate that. But let's fast track to 5 years' time from now. Let me get some water. Let's fast track 5 years into the future. You're now sitting at your goal weight. And let's be honest, the goal weight's just numbers, it's ones and zeros on the scale. You don't care about that. You want to be there, but it's what do you get when you're at your goal weight that you don't have now? Is that more energy? Is that your health? Is that confidence? Is it the spark back with your partner? Is it the motivation? Is it a different lifestyle? You're out there, now you're more active, maybe you're more social, you're out of the house, you're wearing clothes that you love, you're walking into stores that you haven't been in for years or decades. Maybe you're doing more experiences. Maybe you're going overseas. Maybe you're traveling. What is it? What life do you have when you get to that number on the scale? Because I'm telling you now, ones and zeros in the bank account, ones and zeros on the scale, not going to make you happy, very temporary. It's how your life is different when you have achieved that numerical result. That's the main thing. So that's where we want to get to. What if you pay $10,000 to be at that dream outcome? You never had to lose weight again. Would it be worth it to you? Now, if the answer is no, then maybe your goal's too small. Maybe you don't have enough pain. But if the answer is yes, then what are you doing? Like, no coaching program out there is going to cost you 10 grand. Like, everything is, I promise you right now, I know every single program out there, you're not paying $10,000 to lose weight. But if it was worth $10,000 to you, then go out there, find a coach, spend the money, get the problem fixed. Because there is no better accountability than financial accountability. If you put 10 G's down on a coach, you would do it. You would move heaven and earth to get this result. But most people are paying too little. I pay $10 a month for my app. And how's that working out for you? You're probably not using it. I pay $9.95 for my gym membership per week. Is that enough to get you motivated? If that $10 comes out of the account, do you care? No. You've probably been donating money to the gym for the last couple of weeks, months, or years. I had a lady literally just started our program. She was paying $160 per week to her gym, so gym membership plus one personal training session, $160 per week, $8,000 in the year, and she lost 0 kilograms. Nada. I was like, wow. Well, yeah, you got fitter, and yeah, you got stronger, and maybe you learned some technique, but wow, you paid 8 grand in 1 year and you didn't lose any weight. Now she's like, oh, Josh, tell me about it. Ugh, I can't even, my accountant had a heart attack. I can't even swallow that. I can't even look at that. She's like, I know. So she paid $8,000, one PT session a week, plus gym membership. Because here's the thing, ladies, like you can get a PT, it's going to cost you an arm and a leg. Like it's $100 a session, maybe even $80. Do that 3 times a week, 3 PT sessions now, it's $300 a week. $15,000 per year. Actually, okay, well I just proved myself wrong. There are programs worth more than fucking $10,000. You could hire a personal trainer for 15, 20 grand a year. There's one way to do it. Or you could do it the right way. You could get your training, nutrition, and habits all working in alignment. Because if you get them working in alignment, you're going to see the result. We have worked with over 1,500 women over the age of 40. Insane. They've lost more than 15,000 kilograms. That means the average client that we work with loses at least 10 kilos. Half our clients want to lose less than 10 kilos. So I've got ladies that come in, like literally a heap of ladies in the last couple of months. They want to lose between 2 to 5 kilos. A heap of ladies want to lose 40 kilos. So the average weight loss for our clients is at least 10. Meaning that tons of ladies come in with really small goals and then a heap of ladies come in with really big goals. I think our best client result ever is like 40, 45 kilograms lost. Ladies crushing it. Absolutely crushing it. Doing amazing. So if you're like, I need that help. I need the bumpers right now because I keep throwing a gutter ball and I want to pay less than $10,000 or less than $15,000 with a personal trainer for 12 months, then we're the people to talk to. Fill out an application form. I'll put the link down below this podcast, or if it's on YouTube, there'll be a link there somewhere. And fill out the application form. Find out what's it going to hurt you. Jump on a call. It doesn't cost anything, and we'll see if we can help. We'll ask you a couple of questions to see what's happening now, what you need to achieve your goal, and to see if we can actually help you. Look, we can't do magic for everybody. Most people we can, but we need to have a chat with you first to see if what we can do will help out. So jump in, and if you don't know how to find the application form, social media, Facebook, Instagram, find me at Josh Humphreys or BlissBodyU. Send me a message. Hey, heard the podcast. I want to know more. How do I want to get some bumper stops in place. I want to stop rolling the gutter balls. I want more consistency. I want more motivation, and I want a result. All right, ladies, do that. Let's kick some goals. And between that and the next one, have a good weekend. I'll see you in the next episode.